What's up, y'all, and welcome back to AAB TV. I am your girl Audrey B, and this channel is also known as Authentically Audrey B TV. So, welcome back. We are here for another recap of my favorite show, your favorite show, America's favorite show, Abbott's Elementary. And I also want to say thank y'all for wishing me, well, because last week it was rough. But we're back. We're not in the studio, but we're in our new little, second studio, our second location. This episode is called Safety Day, episode 15. So let's get into it, shall we? So we opened the episode with Janine and Greg, and they're talking about some would you rather debates that must be like this whole thing that they have going on. And they get interrupted because there's like this big fiasco going outside. Everybody's outside. Everybody's like, what the heck is going on? It looks like there's an accident. Somebody gets out the car and he's having this big spiel, and he's like, oh, I'm gonna die and all this other stuff. And then the car starts on fire. Everybody's confused, screaming like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And then Melissa's boo, the captain of the fire department, comes and puts it out. And then we find out, y'all, that it's an act. It's all an act. And this is why the episode is called Safety Day, because of all the budget cuts, and I mean all the budget cuts. There's budget cuts going on here in our district too. But on Abbott, the district has a lot of budget cuts. So they have combined 3 presentations into one for elementary, middle, and high school students. And they have the fire department there. They have the improv people there, who was the actor in the car accident. And then they have Slimothy, who we've seen a few seasons ago, or last season, I think. And he's a part of Fade, which y'all know is like the Abbott Elementary version of Dare, about keeping kids off drugs. And Tariq was over it and in it at one point, and now we have somebody else that's even more sillier and crazier that is coming to do this presentation for the kids. And we, like I said, we found out that that is all a hoax. And it got me to thinking about when I was in high school. I don't know if I was like a junior or a senior, but school went on about its regular day. Then we get this announcement, and all of us had to go outside, which was kind of weird, but we was just like, okay, what's happening? Like, nobody's told us anything. We didn't, we were just kind of like, why do we all have to go outside? We go outside, and there's this announcement that's made that some of the students that we know have passed away in a car accident. And we're all taking like, what? I remember one of my friends was like, oh my God, I can't believe this. And then there was this whole spiel, and come to find out, it was a hoax. It was a part of the plan. Because when we find out what happened, we was all like, oh my God. First of all, thank God it didn't really happen. But the whole thing was just kept under wraps. The students who were, the actors in it, they didn't say a word. Like, everything was set up. It looked like a real, scene. It was like parents coming to talk about it. Like, it was insane, and it was very intense. And so I was like, that's what they reminded me of. And I'm like, do they still do stuff like that? And even when they find out that it's it's fake or whatever, and they go to the assembly, Barb even said, like, this is a little too, dark for elementary. And they were just like, well, this what they want us to do. Everybody gets the same presentations. It doesn't matter, but that's why we're all combined. But that's what they reminded me of. Have y'all ever been a part of anything like that? Like, that situation was intense. It was very intense. Like, it was. And I'll never forget it. I will never forget it. Because, like I said, they kept that stuff under wraps. We had no idea what was going on, and they did a big one with that. So like I said, they're in the assembly, and the improv person talks about texting and driving, Slimothy a mess, and they decide that they are going to designate a teacher who can't talk for the rest of the day, and they're gonna be quote unquote dead. And Greg makes a statement, and they was like, you know what? Well, you're gonna be the person. So for the rest of the day, you cannot talk. And he's like, are you serious? So they give him this vest, and that was that with that one. And of course, because he's a teacher and can't talk, Mr. Johnson decides that he's going to be his sub, which was crazy as well, I'm sure. And so while the three people that are doing the presentations are going around to the different classrooms, Melissa's class is in the library, and she's in the background talking to her boo, the captain of the fire department, and learns that he has got a promotion to chief. And like any girlfriend, you would be expecting somebody to be excited that their boyfriend, got a promotion, he's gonna be making more money. And she was like, like you could tell like there was an issue there or whatever. But past all of that, I just gotta keep on talking about this Slimothy dude. Like, he was intense with his dances and the facial expressions. I was like, where do they be finding these people? These people are so good at this, like, quirky, funny character. Oh my God, him and Tariq, like, hilarious. But when the episode also starts, Barb lets us know that she's been taking melatonin and she's been sleeping good, but she's been having some really, really crazy dreams. And she's been walking around trying to get people to interpret the dreams. And everybody's like, enough. But at the as she's talking about it in the break room, Jacob finds out that Miss Schwartz, who he's not a big fan of, has decided to run for a position in the district, and he's like instantly annoyed and upset about it, trying to get everybody else to be, kind of riled up, and nobody's paying him no type of attention. But he's just like, I can't believe this is happening. Like, I need to figure out her why. I need to know what she's standing for. I need to know what her position is on X, Y, and Z. So he's like freaking out about it. And he wants her to, he wants basically to see what he could do to stop it, And so we have another scene where Melissa is talking to her boyfriend about it, and like I said, he could tell something's wrong with her, and she lets him know like, how she feels about it or whatever, and he's trying to like basically figure out why she's so upset. Like, he doesn't understand it. And so her and Barb have a conversation, and she tells Barb that she wants to break up with her boyfriend over this promotion. Ends up going to the meeting, and Miss Schwartz, or whoever she is, she's excited to see him, but there's only one other person besides her and Jacob in the room. Nobody's there, and she's just like, hey, and she's kind of like goofy too. And so he starts giving her the third degree, questioning her, asking her like, what's her position, why is nobody there, who's she gonna debate, what is her stance on, like I said, different things that's going on in the 51st district. And the title of the position is like the 51st district, I think I wrote it, yeah, for the Board of School Commissioners Liaison Representative. And she was like, how do you pronounce that? And I was like, girl, okay. But he basically asked her, like, why are you deciding to do this? Like, you don't even care. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're not taking this position seriously. Like, I can't believe this. Like, we got to put a stop to it. And she's like, look, all of my friends are having babies, and I'm basically doing this to fill up my time because I was so used to spending it with them. Like, who cares? And he's just like, oh no, and realizes, like, she most definitely cannot win, and I gotta stop her. So when he comes back, trying to talk to Greg, he realizes that he can't get anything in, and he can't get anything from Greg because Greg is, remember, designated dead person, and Greg is actually kind of starting to enjoy being quiet and not being able to talk. Janine keeps on trying to talk to him. Ava done see them on the video camera that she told them was not in the room, but it still is in the room, trying to get Greg to talk to her. And she done made the announcement telling everybody, remember that he's dead, like, you can't talk to him. And she's like, whatever. Like I said, throughout the whole entire episode, Janine has all of these what would you do, would you rather challenges, and that, like I said, that's something that her and Greg love to talk about and debate, and she can't communicate with him, and it's like making her crazy. And then Jacob can't communicate. He can't get anybody to like be super riled up, like I said, about this whole situation with Miss Schwartz and this commissioner representative, whatever. And so he's just like, oh my gosh, like I need somebody to talk to. And like I said, Janine is going crazy because she can't talk to her man. She tries to convince Ava, so she's going on about it. And lo and behold, Ava, we already know, gets annoyed easily by Janine, decides to make an announcement around the whole school that Janine is also pronounced dead. And she has to wear the vest too. That's how she solved that problem, so that Janine would kindly leave her alone. So again, after Melissa talked to Captain about her stance on his promotion, like I said, she's upset kind of that he doesn't really understand why she's upset. And she's not telling him the full thing, but she's also, trying to be, nice about it or whatever. But like I said, he's just like annoyed, and he could tell like something's up. So Barb is like, how did it go? And she's like, I just feel like he's not caring about my opinion. And what it all boils down to is that she feels like he's gonna be boring. He's gonna because he's slowing down in this position, that he's gonna expect her to change and expect her to slow down too. And that's just not how they are. Like, their dynamic is fun and exciting, and which she loves, and that's what she was trying to explain to him. But like Barb told her, like, you're more so worried about yourself in this situation than him, because how is him getting a promotion gonna stop you? And I was like, she was kind of being petty and irrational, in my opinion. And she's just like, you need to really check yourself. Like, this guy is in love with you. He's crazy about you. And you're basically like, she didn't say this, but it just popped in my mind. She's like self-sabotaging, like maybe because of her life experiences, you know what I'm saying, like how people do that. But it's just like she's trying to find any and every excuse to like break something up because it's different or going to be different, which she doesn't like. But Barb ends up convincing her, like, you need to really talk to him again and let him know how you feel, but also like stop thinking about yourself, stop making it about you. And she got in Melissa's head and convince her to do it. And then right after, she wants Melissa to interpret a dream that she had, another crazy dream. And Melissa tells her, girl, it's a sex dream. And she's like, what? And then walks off. And so Jacob is still going, frantic because his friends can't talk to him and give him advice or whatever. He's trying to let them know what's going on, and they're back in the assembly, and he's trying to talk to Janine. Janine's getting ready to say something, but the improv guy is like, you cannot talk. You need to go sit in that back with the other irresponsible teacher, because y'all not playing along. Y'all not doing what we asked y'all to do. Y'all not supposed to be talking to nobody. Like, be quiet. Mind you, Greg is sitting in the back by himself. Like I said, he started to enjoy the fact that he didn't have to answer kids' questions. He didn't have to answer silly questions from Jacob. He was starting to be cool. Janine, she can't hold water. Like, she's got to communicate, and she was trying to come to Jacob's side and help him, because he's like, if I can't fix the situation, I know who can. Janine's gonna run against Miss Schwartz. Janine's gonna be the one to fix it. Janine. And when he couldn't talk to her about it because she got sent to the back, he ends up going back there and just again complaining to Ava, which she's really not paying him no attention. But she ends up saying, well, if you're so concerned about it, well, why don't you run? And that was like my whole position in the beginning. Like, if you're so concerned about it, why are you looking for everybody else to solve it? Like, you solve it, sir. If you're so passionate and just so serious about it, you do it. And he's like, are you mocking me? Are you making fun of me? Because y'all know they do my buddy Jacob wrong all the time. But she was like, no. And he was like, you know what? I am gonna run. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna post a campaign video for the district and wait until Miss Schwartz finds out about this. And while he's, going through all of that, we see Janine and Greg, they, can't talk to each other, but now they have a new way, physical touch, to communicate, and they hold hands and he kiss her hands. I said, oh, ain't that so sweet? And finally, Melissa is chasing down the captain in the hallway, and he's just like rolling his eyes, acting like he can't hear her. But she finally gets him to slow down, and he makes a comment like, "I thought she didn't want to slow down," and I was like, she deserved that. But she apologized to him, and like I said, was just like, I don't want us to change. Like, we're the exciting couple. We do fun things together. And I feel like you working at, just being at a desk all day it's going to change us, or you're going to expect me to change. Like, and he's just like, it's not going to change me. The only thing that's going to change is the fact that I'm going to have more money to be able to do more things with you, and I'm going to buy a Harley. And she's like, a Harley? A Harley so I can take the helmet off and swing my hair? And he was like, yes, girl, you are so nuts. And I was just like, again, with these shows, why don't we just communicate and say how we feel at the beginning, like, instead of letting it drag on? But it is what it is. So they, they kiss and make up, and I was like, I'm very proud of her. Like, she listened to Barb's advice, and she got herself together, and she went and let that pride down, and she apologized to her boo, because I think they are really cute together, and he really likes her a lot, and I know that she really likes him too. And so Barb finds Slimothy in the hallway, and he's like looking at her all crazy because she's trying to get any and everybody to interpret more and more dreams that she's had. And he's like, ma'am, I got somewhere to be, and walks off. Some of the students, I guess they're kindergarten students, they walk up to her and it's like, are you talking about your dreams? And the little boy interprets a dream, and she takes his word for it, and then she's like, let me tell you about another one. So that was kind of cute. Somebody she did least expected to interpret it was the students. And then at the end, everybody's huddled at the desk in the office, and in walks Miss Schwartz, which I don't remember her from the first season or first couple of seasons, but Ava made a point to say something about like she looks so much better ever since she left Abbott or whatever. But I didn't remember her from any other episodes. Do y'all? Well, anyway, she comes and she basically calls herself Checking Jacob. Like, I saw that you posted a video for the campaign on the district website. Like, you made a mistake because you made a campaign video for the same position and I'm running for it. And he's like, no, I didn't make a mistake. Like, I'm gonna do it. You're not taking it seriously, and I'm giving you a run for your money, so you need to watch out. And I said, you better go, Jacob. You better go, Jacob. And she's like, all right, I see how you want to play it. And then she walks off and gives him the middle finger. I'm like, oh my gosh. But everybody said they were proud of him. And then Ava gonna say, why would you do that? Why would you run for that? And it's like, girl, you told him to do it. Like, these people are insane. They are insane. And then in the end, Janine and Greg are sitting, at the end of the day, they're sitting together. They still have the vest on, and they're just kind of just huddled up and cuddled up. They have now grown to love the fact that talking, verbally communicating, is not the only way that they can show love. And they missed each other, like Janine was saying, I gotta tell him this, and I gotta ask him this, and I need to know about his day, and it's what we do. And they figured out just sitting next to each other, holding each other's hands, being all hugged up and cozy was another way that they could be close and communicate. And the improv dude walks up and is like, okay, we're done. And Janine was like, actually we really enjoyed. And then she got cut off because Greg was like, whoo. He's like, whoo, damn. And he took it off and he's like running it to her, like answering all the questions about, the would you rathers. And he's been thinking about it all day. Couldn't wait to talk to her. And you know what I'm saying? Like, he was just like excited that he could finally, get in on the conversation about would you rather this or that. So that was pretty funny too. And that was basically, the episode. It was very funny in some parts. It was very like Now you know you shouldn't be acting like that in other parts. And it was also, you know, me rooting for Jacob for finally doing something on his own terms, and also standing up for himself and letting Miss Schwartz know, like, I'm coming for your spot. But yeah, that's it, y'all. So I guess I'll see y'all next week. Also, y'all, I don't make reviews about it or recaps, but I've been watching the new season on Hulu of Paradise with Sterling K. Brown. Yeah, that show is so good. I think it's like episode 5, and episodes come out like every Monday on Hulu, and that show is good. It's so good. And if y'all watch it, let me know. If y'all watch the first season, let me know. And because I'm telling y'all, this show is really, really good. Like, these last few episodes my mouth's just been like the whole time. But that's a good show too. But nothing beats Abbott. I love, love, love it. I'm so glad that you all love it too. And I'm also glad that you guys are watching my reviews and recaps. And I just thank you. I appreciate you. I do. I am about to be off my lunch. So I will see you guys next time.